The automobile, it's hard to imagine life without it. Today cars are everywhere, but it wasn't always this way. The story of the automobile begins in the late 1800s in Germany and France. These countries were filled with brilliant engineers. They had a vision of a self-propelled vehicle.
One of the first pioneers was Carl Benz. In 1886, he patented the first practical automobile. It was a three-wheeled vehicle powered by a gasoline engine. Around the same time, I was working on my own designs, focusing on four-wheeled vehicles.
These early automobiles were rudimentary, but they sparked a revolution in transportation. The early automobiles were expensive and unreliable. Only the wealthy could afford them. But the potential was clear. The automobile promised a new era of personal freedom and mobility. It captured the imagination of inventors and entrepreneurs worldwide. While the automobile was born in Europe, it was in America that it truly took off. The United States, with its vast distances and entrepreneurial spirit, provided the perfect environment. Companies like Oldsmobile, Buick, and Cadillac emerged, each contributing to the development of the car. One name, however, would become synonymous with the automobile itself: Henry Ford.
I had a vision to make cars affordable for everyone. I believed in mass production. This meant building cars on a large scale using standardized parts. In 1908, I introduced the Model T, a car that would change the world.
The Model T was simple, reliable, and relatively inexpensive. Ford's assembly line techniques allowed him to produce cars at an unprecedented rate. The price of the Model T dropped from $850 in 1908 to just $260 in 1925. The automobile was no longer a luxury, it was becoming a necessity. Henry Ford's impact went far beyond just building cars. He revolutionized manufacturing. His assembly line methods were adopted by industries worldwide.
I also understood the importance of paying my workers a decent wage. I believed that if my employees could afford my cars, they would buy them. This created a virtuous cycle of production and consumption.
The success of Ford and other American automakers led to the dominance of the US automobile industry. By the 1920s, the United States was producing the vast majority of the world's cars. Detroit, Michigan became the automobile capital of the world. The American automobile industry's growth had a profound impact on the country. It created millions of jobs, not just in manufacturing, but also in related industries. Steel, rubber, glass, and petroleum all benefited from the rise of the automobile. Section 4. A Nation on Wheels. The automobile's impact on America. The automobile transformed the American landscape. Roads were paved, connecting cities and towns like never before. The suburbs began to grow as people could now live farther from their workplaces. The automobile gave Americans a new sense of freedom and mobility. It also had a profound impact on American culture. The open road became a symbol of adventure and escape. The automobile became a status symbol, a reflection of personal style and success.
However, the automobile's impact wasn't entirely positive. Traffic congestion and air pollution became growing problems in urban areas. The automobile's dependence on fossil fuels would have long-term environmental consequences.
Section 5. The war effort and its aftermath, a time of change. The outbreak of World War II in 1939 had a significant impact on the automobile industry. Car production in the United States was halted as factories were converted to produce military vehicles. The war effort demonstrated the industry's ability to adapt and innovate. After the war, the American automobile industry resumed production. The post-war years saw a surge in demand for cars. Returning soldiers and their families were eager to purchase new automobiles. The industry responded with a wave of new models featuring sleek designs and powerful engines. The post-war period also saw the emergence of new consumer trends. Americans were becoming more affluent and had more disposable income. They were looking for cars that offered comfort, style, and performance. Section 6. The rise of the suburbs, life in the fast lane. The automobile played a key role in the growth of the suburbs in the 1950s and 1960s. As cities became more crowded and expensive, families began to move to the suburbs in search of more space and affordability. The automobile made this possible. People could now live farther from their workplaces and still commute easily. The rise of the suburbs had a profound impact on American society. It led to the development of shopping malls, fast food restaurants, and a car-centric culture. The automobile had become an integral part of the American dream.
However, the growth of the suburbs also contributed to urban sprawl and increased dependence on automobiles. This, in turn, led to greater traffic congestion, air pollution, and energy consumption.